What is going on, you average gamers? I hope you're all having a fantastic day as always. And something amazing has just happened. I finally got good lobbies. And it is a breath of fresh air, let me tell you. Especially since I just complained about this in my last video, where I had said like the last 2 to 3 months, but like practically has been nothing but just what feels like CDL, competitive, super sweaty. If you're not on the top, if you're not first, you're last, okay? Ricky Bobby. Alright, that's how it feels, is that you have to be so good at this game in order to do well. Or at least, like, that's been my experience, where I've just been playing, like, so many good people. By all means, I'm not trying to sit here and say that the people in this lobby were, bad or shit stains or anything. It was just a different experience after being, completely, basically shit on for the last couple of months. In the hour that I played, I didn't have full teams stimming, slide canceling, beaming me, shooting my body, teabagging me, taking my shoes, then, to my girlfriend. Like, that, I feel personally attacked when I play in these lobbies sometimes.
Try to get him on
So I left this part in here for anyone that's curious for the gun I was using and the gameplay that you're about to see. I had got really, really close to my PR, and either way, the gameplay itself is still entertaining. So I really hope that you stick around and just watch that. So ironically, I never ever use assault rifles. The only time I really ever used them is when I played multiplayer. I played a little bit of Vanguard, and I played quite a bit of Modern Warfare. But so other than that, I never really used assault rifles. Even back in the day in Verdansk, I maybe have used like an LMG, and maybe the Growl when the Growl is meta. But other than that, I mainly stick to snipers. So like 99% of the time, I'm usually sniping. I do believe that I'm not gonna say I found a meta or anything, but this gun is amazing. Okay, the Cooper, not the shotgun in my hands. The Cooper carbine that I use to get really, really close to my PR. I could have broken it, to be honest. A lot of lucky things happen and a lot of unfortunate things that have happened in this gameplay.
I got gunned.
But anyway, a Cooper carbine is no joke. So if it's something that you used and didn't like, or something that you're not familiar with, definitely try it again, or just try for your first time. Mess around with it. Put your own attachments, put my attachments if you want like a reference or anything. I'm sure there might be better builds for it. My build is a little jumpy, but I don't know. Maybe I have the best build in the game. I'm not even sure yet. Go ahead and try it out for yourself. What I find super fascinating is that for somebody that never really uses ARs, I use it very occasionally. But for somebody that never really uses it, this is my very first game on where I decided to use an AR, and I almost break my PR. And I feel like kind of cool. And like I said, some of it's kind of lucky, some of it's not lucky. I feel like if you were to have a good game, luck is gonna happen and bad luck is gonna happen. That's the middle ground. Unless you're an absolute freak at this game where you can just kind of do whatever you want, That's not me. And that's exactly where I go back to say where it's like, I don't feel like my SBMM should be so high. I'm alright with the hard games and stuff, but every single game, just non-stop, weeks on end, that is infuriating. I also do put a wicked amount of time in a bunch of other video games. So I know for a fact that if I had, picked up like a scuff controller and had the paddles and did all these things and played like that non-stop and got off of 80 FOV, because my god, it drives me nuts sometimes. Like, I don't even blame you for not watching this just because it's an 80 FOV. But this is what I'm used to. This is what I play on. And that alone is pretty difficult. Like, that thought alone, to know that you're at a disadvantage versus these absolute demons. It sucks. Now it's like, why don't you get a PC? Because I love PlayStation exclusives. I'm a huge fan of all, like, The Last of Us, okay? The Spider-Man games. Oh, they're so good. Of course, God of War, which is, if you look at the picture of my YouTube, it's literally him. It's my dad. And then, Ghost of Tsushima, all these games that are so amazing. I had done 2 playthroughs, one God of War and one Last of Us 2 video, both on the hardest difficulties. If that's something that you're into, go check those out, because I am more of a freak at those games than this game. I can go on and talk about games that I had put so much time into, such as like the Batman Arkham series. Oh my goodness, Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh my goodness, I could talk about that and God of War for months, for years. Those games are diamond in the rough. So good. If you haven't played that, I don't care if you watch your favorite streamer play it and you know the story. Go play the game. It is such a privilege to play those games. The fact that both those games too came out in the same year is insane. And ironically, when I went to go play those games at first, I didn't really like them because I had only recently gotten into single player games. So hey, like maybe if that's not something you were into or whatever, go try it again, okay? Because I can talk about these games all day. They're so good. If you're only into multiplayer games, the only thing I can say is, hey, like, try to step out of your comfort zone. I was exactly like that, where I only played first-person shooters. I never really played anything else. God of War was really the first game that put me, out of my comfort zone completely. And ironically, again, like, although that's my favorite game damn near of all time, the first time I played it, I wasn't a huge fan of it just because of I didn't give it a chance. I didn't want to learn all this stuff, and you're not even learning. Like, it is, like I said, a privilege to sit there and behold this story. Okay, just like that in Red Dead 2. If you haven't played those games, please, I'm begging you, go play those games. I'm really excited to hear down in the comment section which one of those two you preferred, though. As always, I love y'all, and stay smooth.